Now that logical reasoning is 2/3 of the LSAT, it's more important than ever to master this section. Today, I'll break down for you how to do exactly that. First, for those who don't know me, my name is Steve Schwartz. I've been teaching the LSAT since 2005, and I personally increased my own LSAT score from a 152 to a 175. Now, the cool thing is that the LSAT and logical reasoning in particular is first and foremost a test of pattern recognition, meaning if you can recognize the patterns, you can predict the correct answer with higher accuracy. Now, acing the logical reasoning section isn't just about being smart, it's about being strategic. So today I'm going to cover for you the 3 major categories of logical reasoning questions, how the trap answers are designed to trip you up, and how conditional logic can give you an edge if you understand it thoroughly. By the end of this video, you're going to have a step-by-step strategy to tackle even the hardest questions on the LSAT. Now, the 3 major categories of logical reasoning sections. We have questions that involve your ability to spot gaps and flaws in arguments, for example, necessary assumption questions. We also have questions asking you to understand the role a statement plays in an argument. For example, is it evidence? Is it the conclusion? Is it a counter premise? Your understanding of the role of the statement in the passage as a whole. Finally, you have questions that ask you to make an inference from a set of facts. These are usually fact sets rather than arguments. Now, whether you're dealing with doing something to the gap in an argument, like closing it up as a strengthener or exposing it as a weakener, whether you're looking to understand the role a statement plays in the passage as a whole, or whether you're looking to make inferences, each of these types of questions is going to have predictable patterns. And if you know these patterns, it makes it easier to spot the correct answer. Now, there are, of course, trap answers that you've got to avoid and eliminate. LSAC is very clever at making tempting wrong answers. This is why at LSAT Unplugged, we use the Socratic review method to help you better understand what tricks and traps you personally are uniquely prone to falling for so that you can avoid making the same mistake again. It's not enough to know why the right answer is right and why the wrong answer is wrong. It's just as important to know what was tempting about the wrong answer choice that made you pick it and what ultimately makes it wrong, and what was discouraging or unappealing about the right answer that pushed you away from it and what ultimately makes it correct, because you have these traps of encouragement towards the wrong answer and traps of discouragement away from the right answer. And so it's important that you level up your review process by looking at these elements of your question solving process. Of course, at LSAT Unplugged, we incorporate these strategies into our live online classes via Zoom, our on-demand video courses, our small group coaching program, and our one-on-one coaching program. If you're interested in finding out more, you can check out the links below to book a call with me and my team. We'd be glad to help you out. Now, let's look at some of the common trap answers that you're likely to see on the LSAT. You have answer choices that are out of scope, that go beyond the evidence provided in the stimulus. You have choices that reverse or negate the logic of the stimulus, and that's where conditional logic is incredibly important. If you understand how to take a contrapositive correctly versus the mistaken contrapositive attempts that LSAC lays out, you'll be better able to spot these. And of course, you also have answer choices that are too extreme or too moderate. A pro tip for you here is that for necessary assumption questions, you want to gravitate towards more moderate language that is more likely to have been required by the stimulus than more extreme answer choices. For example, in necessary assumption questions, you want to gravitate towards more moderate answer choices because they are more likely to have been required by the stimulus than more extreme answer choices would be. In contrast, for sufficient assumption questions, extreme language is totally fine. The question is, does this get the job done? LSAC loves to put tempting wrong answers before the correct answer so that you never even get to the right answer and you confidently choose the wrong one. And so for those question types, necessary assumption and sufficient assumption, you want to make sure that you are looking at the choices through the correct lens for necessary assumption or sufficient assumption. Spotting these traps is a complete game changer for leveling up your accuracy in logical reasoning. So for your path going forward to logical reasoning mastery, you want to better understand the structure of the argument, being able to quickly spot the evidence, the conclusions, and any counter premises presented. You want to understand the frameworks LSAC uses in laying out the reasoning of the argument. You want to get crystal clear on conditional reasoning, causation, and comparisons, which dominate the logical reasoning section, and you want to understand the patterns in wrong answer choices and which ones you are uniquely prone to falling for. Again, if you'd like my help, check out the links below to book a call with me and my team. We'd be glad to support you on your journey to a 170 or above. And in the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.